the MMA podcast. And now, coming to the mic, your host, Jalen Walker.
Welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. If you're listening to the podcast via Spotify, Apple Music, or any other streaming platforms, please make sure to check us out on YouTube and click that subscribe button. Much appreciated. After 8 consecutive weeks of championship bouts and wild fights, the UFC took a break last week and returned tonight with some great matchups with UFC Vegas 23. Today we'll be breaking down tonight's fight card plus more. Also today on the podcast we're joined by a fighter out of AKA. He has an upcoming fight. We'll break it all down and much, much more. But first, a word from our sponsor at Manscaped. Hey you got Bush? You definitely do if you haven't tried the best products from our sponsor today, Manscaped. After using these life-changing products, you're going to want to join the Manscaped community. I'm looking out for you because I have an exclusive 20% off discount when you use code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. Manscaped is dedicating to help you level up your full-body grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. This is the best trimmer to help you trim up those hedges. This trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. When you trim the hedges, the tree stands taller. Inside the Perfect Package, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, making sure your balls are smelling majestic before your Tinder date. You'll also find the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, a spray-on testy toner that is designed to make your balls smell irresistible. Be sure to add their refined cologne to your arsenal as well. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with code POUND4POUND. Thank you, Manscaped. Appreciate that. All right, so today we're joined on the podcast by a fighter out of American Kickboxing Academy, as we all know, in San Jose, California. He trained with some of the sport's best athletes and has also competed on Dana White's Contender series last season, where he defeated Dinis Paiva. He just announced his upcoming fight that will take place on April 30th with LFA. I would like to introduce to the podcast Kyle Driscoll. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good time on.
Yeah, dude. I think you're the most frequent guest on Pound for Pound. You just took it with the third appearance.
Let's go. I like that. I'll keep my title.
No, yeah, we appreciate having you. As always, how's everything going? How's your health? How's training going?
It's great, bro. When February 1st hit, AK was still shut down, and so I was like, man, I got to go out to Alpha Male if AK is still going to be shut down, because I knew something was going to come. So, like, February 1st, I went out there, started grinding with those dudes, and AK opened back up. So, camp's just been rolling, dude. I'm fucking feeling great.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So with COVID, like, kind of like starting to become a little bit easier to deal with, are you sticking to, like, a majority of training partners? Is it just you and, like, 2 other guys and you're sticking with that? Or is it whoever's in the gym, or is it just multiple guys coming in and out sparring with you?
Yeah, the gym's starting to slowly open up more.
Okay.
But at first I was supposed to main event against Brant Moore, who was like a jiu-jitsu judo guy. So all my training partners were tailored to what he was going to do. We had some really good guys to mimic him, and then we got a change of opponent. So kind of just switched the group. But yeah, it's a pretty small group. I'm trying to stay healthy, avoid that COVID stuff. So pretty small group of people.
That's good, yeah. I mean, it's still very risky, even though a lot of vaccines are going out. It's still just up in the air what could happen. You mean, look at Alexander Volkanovski. You know, he got here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that just completely canceled. And people just seem to forget about that fight. I was so pumped for that fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where is your fight happening on April 30th with LFA? Where is that?
It's in Shawnee, Oklahoma. I'm going back to the homeland. It's
Nice,
like
man.
2 hours away from home, but I'm the next up out of Oklahoma. I know I'm the next up in the country, so
Yep, for sure.
I get to go home, and then to me, it's like if I go do what I should do, this is my breakthrough. This is my coming out party of, stamping my ticket to the big show. I go put this guy away how I know I can. I'm pretty confident the UFC is going to be calling. So
For sure. I mean, you got a great
kind
record.
of
That if
yeah.
you
Go
if you
ahead.
put this guy down, that'd be 8 wins in a row. I think it is. Is that your streak right now?
8.
Yeah,
Yeah, this will be 8 in a row.
it's a solid streak, man.
But I'm excited, dude. This move up to 55, being able to focus on that it's changed everything.
I remember we talked about that last time. How are you feeling comfortable with it?
Oh, I feel great, dude.
That's
The
good.
weight management's so easy. I'm eating portioned out meals, timed, but now I'm eating like 7.5 ounces of protein instead of like 3.
Okay,
Like
what is that changing for you in your diet and your regimen?
it's just my output in practice, what I'm
Okay.
able to get out of each practice.
Okay.
I'm working with Tyler Whalen, who's one of the best nutritionists in the game,
Yep.
and he's got me carb loading the night before sparring sessions, so I'm going in and getting my sparring sessions with max effort, and being at 55, I'm able to do this. At 45, if I wasn't in a caloric deficit by the first training session, I was already behind.
Yep, I feel that. But you feel like you have a lot more energy and cardio going into these into the later the third round.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have so much more pop all around.
Awesome. I'm excited.
I'm able to implement plyometrics,
Okay.
real strength and conditioning routines. So I just feel like a revamped NASCAR. Like I feel like
You feel like an F1 now. You were a NASCAR. Now you're on the F1.
I feel like a real athlete again. Like
That's awesome, man.
yeah, I'm really excited to go out and display it. I'm looking forward to it.
So before we get too far into the interview, how can we watch LFA? Is it on Fight Pass? How
Yeah,
is it?
it's on
Okay.
UFC Fight Pass.
And will that be
on the main
live
event.
when it happens?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
April 30th. I think I'm not confident on when the time starts, so I'm not going to say it. But
Yeah. I'll find out and I'll
yeah.
make a post for it. Don't sweat on it.
April 30th main event. And it might seem little, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, I just fought on Contender Series. My goal, like I had my foot in the door with my dream since I was a kid. And sometimes I think life throws you these little curveballs of, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to? Because I could have gone to Bellator after the Contender win. That was on the table, but I'm holding on to this childhood dream. I want to go to the UFC, and so it's kind of bittersweet that I made a change. I feel the best I've ever felt in my life physically with this change up to 55. And then I get to go home and have my family there with me because I'm confident in the performance I'm going to put on here. And I'm also confident that it's going to punch my ticket to the big show. So it's kind of bittersweet that I get to be home with my mom, my dad, my sister, all my family. My girlfriend's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. And I'm going to put on a performance that I know we're going to get the call after this one,
For sure, man. Yeah, I'm getting excited for the fight now. You seem like you're in great shape. You seem like everything is flowing the way it should. You seem very positive about the fight. But on the other hand, I don't think there's a lot to sweat with you. I mean, you got some nasty TKO wins, decision wins. Like I said, you're on a seven win streak right now. Your record's at 12-3. So yeah, I think you're on the right path. It is a shame that you haven't had the call yet. But if you go out here and put out another big outing like you're planning on doing, like there's no doubt you'll get that call. Did we lose him? I think he's coming back through. One second.
Am I here?
There we go. You're all good. Yeah, we lost you for a quick second. No, you're good. But yeah, I was just saying, yeah, I think if if everything goes well and you're planning on putting a show like you are, like you're going to, I think everything's gonna work out for you in the long run. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all going to play out, man. It's just staying true to dream.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
1 second. I think we're losing for a second. I think you're coming back.
Am I here? Damn.
I think we got you. Hello?
Maybe I'll. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. You're
now?
just a little bit slow. There you go. Now we're good. We're all good now.
Better?
Yeah, we're all good. I think it was just a little lag we had for a second.
All right. But yeah, I got sidetracked on that story. I had to let the dog in. But it was early on in my career. It was a goal of mine to headline an LFA because I've made my pro debut for Legacy on Access TV back in the day before it was LFA. And I've had a majority of my early fights were with LFA. So this is actually like a little milestone for me. When I was early on in my career, I thought it'd be cool to headline an LFA because I saw trained guys who were winning the belts or headlining were going to the UFC. So it was something I wanted to do. So this is also kind of adds to that bittersweet moment for me.
For sure. So I know you were kind of cornering and being not a head coach, but coaching some of these guys like Darren Wynn or Daron Wynn and some other people. Is there any other fighters that have some fights coming up that you're excited about that you've been helping out?
Yeah, I mean, Daron just signed a contract for I think June or July.
Nice.
I don't think he's announced who he's fighting, but it's a sick fight. It's gonna be you'll like it when you see it.
For sure.
They're starting to talk to my boy Romero Cotton again.
Nice.
Starting to get him back in the mix, kind of bring up some names. My boy Mark Climaco is just a straight savage. He just won an LFA. He's well on his way. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but that's all. Oh, Mowgli Benitez. What am I thinking? My boy Gabriel Benitez, Mowgli. He's coming off a vicious knee to, I think, Justin James solar plexus, getting the $50,000 bonus.
Really?
So he's coming off that win. And man, he's on fire right now, dude. He's looking good. He's feeling good. I'm excited for him.
For sure.
That's one to watch. Watch that dude.
I trust you. Because Daron Wynn, he's a beast. I'm excited. He just got a contract. I'm itching to see who he's gonna be fighting now. Now you got me thinking. Just kind of circulating in my head. I was just checking the fights. Jim Miller lost by decision to Joe.
Oh, that kid beat him?
Yeah, he just lost by decision. I just saw it. And then the main card's going on right now, and yeah, Mike Perry is fighting Daniel Rodriguez at the moment. But yeah, Jim Miller lost.
That could end any.
Saying it could end any second. Mike Perry's a beast, and Daniel Rodriguez is no joke. Yeah, there's some decent fights coming up on there. Before these fights end, do you wanna break down a couple of these with me?
Let's do it.
All right, so right off the back, we got Platinum Mike Perry. You know, he's 14-7. He's going against Daniel Rodriguez. What do you think about Mike Perry? Like, you know, he was on the edge of not being signed with the UFC again and being released and stuff. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I think he was running into some issues in the gyms he was in, and then he's kind of got that fuck it mentality, so he just kind of said, I'm gonna do this on my own. But
he brought his pregnant girlfriend. She was the only one in his corner. Bro, it's much bizarre. Respect. It's so weird when the camera pans over to her and she's just like, you got this, sweetie. You can do this. And it's just like, what
all he needs to hear.
It's like, what is happening? Like, you know, you got the UFC Cutman and stuff like that there, but like, just a pregnant woman, like, just there. It's
hilarious, bro.
It's so weird, man. It's almost weirder than like how Holland, who fights tonight, he has no one in his corner. You know what I mean?
Kevin Holland doesn't have anyone in his corner.
He didn't have anybody in his corner last time when he fought Brunson. It was just the cut man, and that's when he was like yelling at Khabib and stuff, and say, "Khabib, give me advice. Khabib, I need help. Khabib." Like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, Kevin
That's
Holland.
so fun.
I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's out here pretty much alone, and then that's why he took this fight because he's the type of guy that just sits there and pesters Dana and be like, "Hey, he dropped out. Let me take the fight. He dropped out. Let me take the fight." That's how he got 5
Hey,
fights
he's
last year.
active.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
active.
He won all 5 last year. And in this fight against Brunson, I just think if he had a little bit more jiu-jitsu skills and a little bit more wrestling, I think with Jacquees, or how do you pronounce his name? I forgot. He got lucky with that hit from the ground. Holland did.
Oh, Jacare,
Yeah, thank you. Jacare, he got lucky. But with Brunson, it wasn't happening. Like, Brunson held him down. It was a little boring. But other than Kevin Holland mouth going off the whole time, like, that fight was kind of boring, to be honest with you.
I didn't understand that as a competitor. Like,
Yeah.
he's making it seem too much like sport. And when you have a guy in there who's like mouthing, this is sport to them.
Yeah.
And then the other guys in there, like, in there to kill you. There's a difference in intensity and tenacity.
Yep.
And that's where I think you saw a difference. Like, I don't know. I hope to see a different Kevin Holland tonight because I like him.
Yeah.
I want to like him.
He got some power, too, for how skinny he is, man.
He's slick. I don't know if he got, like, his head got too big on, like, who he was. But which I'm not knocking because 5 fights
in a year in the UFC. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it's the breakthrough fighter of the year.
Yeah.
You feel like the man. You're invincible. So, but this game's rough, and luckily he didn't have to face that adversity too hard. He just kind of got wrestle fucked. So
exactly. And Brunson,
I like to see him.
aka the UFC's gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Like, he shut the doors on him. He locked him back out. I mean, if he would have beat Brunson, that's when you start fighting the big dogs. And it sucks for Brunson, but he's got to accept it. Like, he's most likely not going to get a title shot again. Like, he is a gatekeeper. No. He's there for a reason. But he's a great fighter. He's not the best, but he's someone that these up and coming fighters has to get through. It's just like how Cerrone was. Cerrone, hopefully he retires here soon for his health. But, like, Jesus, like, Christ, like, he's had so many people had to come through, and that's why I still thought that Conor McGregor Cerrone fight was just, that didn't make any sense. I just didn't. That didn't make any sense at all.
He was just taking out all the. He was the gatekeeper, and he had a good little gatekeeper run.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's levels, Yep. I mean, McGregor. Man, I'm excited for this McGregor Poirier rematch.
Woo! Hey, man, I called it. I called Poirier was going to TKO Conor McGregor. I called it on the podcast. I have the video clip still. No one believed me. And what did he do? And you know what he's going to do?
He did it.
Right here, right now. He's going to come out and he's going to do it again. And he's going to do it even quicker this time. Watch.
Okay.
Conor, I mean, I'm scared for Dustin, but Conor's going to come out with some crazy stuff because after losing, a man's in a different mindset after losing.
Yeah, and I also like that I saw he was going to bring the antics and stuff beforehand, and I think that's what makes Conor. Just like if you see Stephen Wonderboy Thompson out here just talking mad shit to his opponent and
it'd be so weird.
trying to disrespect him, like something's off. He's not on his game, right?
Exactly.
And if McGregor's out here being the nice guy, that's not Conor McGregor.
Yeah, getting his hot sauce and like hugging. And
he's Conor McGregor slaps that shit out of his hand and flips him off.
Yeah. That wasn't Conor McGregor this time. He was trying to be a family man. He had a son with him. I think that was just all too much. I think he came to Abu Dhabi in a yacht. Like, what are you doing, bro? Take a regular flight like everybody else. Have your family come in a week later. They're there for the fight. It was the Conor show. And then it became the Conor show on the canvas.
It was, but yeah.
It just sucks.
Dustin.
Yeah. It just sucks when you got Dustin, who's one of the best fighters in the world, who I think is the best fighter in the world without Khabib in the division. But it just sucks when you got like John Anik at the pre-weight thing saying, and the fight this card was built off of, the man, Conor McGregor. And it's like, fuck that. Like, The fight the car was built off was Dustin. Conor tweeted Dustin. This all happened around Dustin. I just hate how they ride Conor's back so much, and it's just like, give the fighters that have been here for the longest, put in the work. I understand Conor is a moneymaker, but Jesus Christ, like, you just shit on everyone else when he's around.
Yeah, it is pretty bizarre they just. And you know what's crazy to me is you have Poirier and McGregor who are just. They're the elite, especially Poirier. Like, you're talking about Poirier. Poirier's out here taking down McGregor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then it's crazy to see just how Khabib makes it look easy. It's like,
it just makes no sense. It's a different game. It's a different world for him.
How did you do that?
I mean, like, he's living in the Matrix, and like we're like just chilling in regular reality, just like twiddling our thumbs. Like, he's living a whole different perspective of the game.
It's crazy, dude.
It really is. To think how dominant he is.
Once.
29 times, bro. 29 times.
Yeah, but especially, I mean, you remember when Edson Barboza was hot? He was spinning, heel kicking, knocking everybody out, and then Khabib broke this man.
Yep.
And then that's when it really started. And you know what people forget, I think? He beat Rafael dos Anjos.
Yep.
Like, that's a big win.
That was huge. I mean, all of his past 10 wins were just like, Jesus Christ. How did you keep those people down?
Yes, the McGregor, Poirier, Gaethje, and how easy he made those look. It was like, oh my God.
And even if that was his only 3 title defenses, that was some of the biggest title defenses in UFC history. Like, like, the division has never been this crazy where you got, like, literally, like, who you just said, Khabib, or Gaethje, McGregor, and Poirier. Like, no one wants to go up those 3. If you came to a UFC fighter and said, hey, it's your next 3 fights, blah, 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 you'd be like, oh, hell no, I'm cool. Like, that's not happening. Like, I got to at least fight 1 or 2 of those guys for a title fight, not all 3 of them. And Khabib just put them all. That's why I don't blame him for just being like, I'm done. Like, there's no need.
Why?
Yeah, there's no need. That's like that's like being like the Lakers back in the day and just taking out the Celtics like 3 years in a row or something. Like, he dominated. Like, he doesn't need to come back. And I don't know if you saw GSP on Joe Rogan, and he was saying, like, I don't know if you heard the stipulations to how he would come back, but he was like, Dana would have to catch me in the gym, like pumping iron, like punching a bag, like with my adrenaline rush, and like have the paper there for me to sign. And I was like, dang, like, can we get this to happen? Because I don't even care if he doesn't fight Khabib at this point. Like give me, like, he can fight anybody. Like, I just want to see GSP.
Dude, he looks good.
Yeah, I mean, and I was just talking to my cousin. He's in the new Disney Plus show, Winter Soldier and Captain Falcon or whatever. He's in the opening. He's in the opening main fight scene in the plane. Like, he's the main bad guy.
GSP.
Dude, it's sick too. Like, it's sick. You got to check it out. It's like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Yeah,
hey, I love GSP. Was my favorite, dude. Growing up, GSP was full. What?
He's
he
the
just
GOAT.
Beat everybody up.
I mean, Khabib's up there with him now.
Yeah, he's the LeBron James to the Michael Jordan, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
And it's nice that the MMA has something like that. Has someone that was a little bit before someone, and that has someone to compare to keep that debate going, to keep the buzz a hype. You know what I mean? I mean, not to say anything, but like with Jordan being before like Kobe and LeBron, all that talk and stuff kind of hype the myth of who these players could be. And like in Kobe and LeBron's sake, like they outlived that. They lived up to it and beyond. And I feel like with Khabib, he was trying to do the same. He wanted to be the best. And then there's going to be someone else that comes up, and they're going to want to be the next GSP and Khabib. And that's what really gets a sport going, when you have these people to look up to, and to push, and to really drive you to be better than them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's really exciting.
For sure, dude. It is. And I love it. It's cool hearing GSP talk and kind of go over his career and things he did and stuff. It was cool to hear.
He's such a humble dude, but he's so
intelligent. Bro.
But he's so vicious when he turns it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing about him. Like, he's just a unique human.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
I do. Did he post something recently?
No, it's just I like watching like the crazy workouts he does. He's
Oh
like
my
running
god, dude!
sprints on the track in the snow. He just does the craziest. His like yoga stability and stuff is through the roof. It's like,
Yeah, it makes no sense. And
wow.
his sparring is stupid too. Like I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
his sparring recently, dude. He's still like,
And he does like 36-hour water fasts.
yeah, I don't understand. Like he does some ridiculous stuff.
He does.
And he is a little older. I mean, he's like 40. He's like Tom Brady's age, 43. 40, I can't remember exactly. But like I wouldn't get in front of him. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm good. Like he's still a badass fighter, and I think if he got put in the octagon, I think people would shut up again immediately on who's the greatest of all time, 100%, because he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dominant.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. When he was retired, came out, got the belt again, then left. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, man.
Yeah, it's like, stop doing this to us.
How many times can you do that, you know?
Yeah. But like to me, one of my favorite parts of George St. Pierre is when Matt Serra beat him. I don't know if you remember that fight, but Matt Serra came out, surprise victory. Everyone was stunned. And then they rematched, and George St. Pierre came out no nonsense and literally destroyed Matt Serra, who's one of the best jiu-jitsu artists of all time. Absolutely destroyed him. So like I feel like if GSP did come back, I hope he wouldn't need one of those refreshers where he's like, oh, let me wait. I need to just get in here, see what's happening, and then if he loses, something clicks in his head. Because he even said he doesn't know if he still has it. Like he doesn't know if he still has that in his mindset.
Yeah. I mean, which, you know, Cain Velasquez had a change of heart. He's a completely different human now. He doesn't even, there's not even a thing in him that could fight again. You know,
nope.
It's over.
And that's perfectly okay. I mean, things in life change you and make you a different person. You know what I mean? That not everyone's like Anderson Silva who's going to fight until they fall over and die. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's never going to stop.
I would love to see him stop.
Me too, but people are going to keep paying him. And they're going to, like, if Bellator can get their hands on him, if anybody can get their hands on him, they're going to pay him. And he's going to do it for the love of the game.
He does, dude.
Yeah, and he just loves to fight. Like, that dude is... And he puts his hands up and smiles. Like, come on.
He should have, in my opinion, in his career, UFC 200 against DC could have been it.
Yeah. I mean, Adesanya could have been it, and he could have just walked away. That could have been it. That would have been a great way to pass the torch. You guys had a great fight, sold out the arena. People were going nuts. Had your little victory lap.
I like the Andre Ward and the GSP Khabib type. Once you've done that, and like you hear Andre Ward talk, he's like, man, because no one understands why he retired in the peak of his career. It's not like he got old and stuff, but he came to the realization that like it's got to come to an end at some point, and he's going to retire on top. Everyone diminishes their legacy in a sense because they hang on too long, and then they're just getting beat up by people they shouldn't. Exactly. Not only are they taking the additional brain damage, but it's their legacy. So Andre Ward got on top, I'm out, right? Khabib got on top, he's out. GSP, same thing. I like that. If you're able to do that, I think there's something to be said about that.
No, for sure. For sure, 100%.
It can't last forever.
Nope. I mean, look at Cejudo, you know what I mean? Like
Cejudo too.
Yeah, like just dipped. He was like, "Oh, I'm the two-time Olympic champ, blah blah blah, or whatever it is. I'm out. I got 2 titles." No. He did the same thing with the Olympics. He won the Olympic titles, quit Olympic wrestling forever, and then he won 2 divisions in the UFC and then quit the UFC forever. People say it's because of he's done, but we all know Dana White's not going to pay him the money. He's not going to pay him $10 million to fight. He wants to stick with like the 3 to 4, which is okay for that division. It's not the best division at the time, you know what I mean? But if he came back now and fought Figueiredo, that would be one of the biggest fights in the UFC. You know what I mean? Now look at the difference that he retired, he gave up the title, but we got to wait until Moreno comes back, and I think Moreno's going to beat Figueiredo the second time around. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, it's a sick fight, dude.
Woo, that was such a good fight last year, man.
I can't believe we're going to see that again.
Dude, I was going nuts during that fight. I cannot explain how hype I was. Dude, they were just eating each other's punches. And they were landing. Like, they weren't just grazed. They were landing in just multiple shots. Dude, yeah, that fight, those two guys, that was hats off performance to them. And I'm so happy it ended in a draw. That's exactly what it needed to. That was I know.
Yeah.
If Figueiredo didn't have that violation for the growing kick, 100% he would have won. But you got to take into account Moreno's health moving forward from that. And I think what Herb Dean did was perfect. I think it worked out, and I think a draw was the perfect outcome for that fight. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, the fans won that fight, dude.
Woo!
Neither guy lost in that. Obviously, the fans won that fight.
Man.
I might go rewatch that. I've been watching a lot of film. I might go rewatch that. It's a good one.
Yeah, man, 100%. That is a really good fight.
Yeah.
So we were breaking down the Mike Perry fight, but Daniel Rodriguez just won by decision over Mike Perry, taking his record to 14-2. We're basically having a little watch party right here. But yeah,
who's up now?
Now we got that's what we'll break down this one real quick. So now we got Nina Astronaut versus Mackenzie Dern at women's strawweight. Astronaut is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Tatiana Suarez back in June of 2019. This loss snapped her previous 4-fight winning streak, and then Dern finds herself at 10-1 on a 3-fight winning streak after winning all of her fights in 2020. Her last encounter was a unanimous decision victory against Vernon Gendorbo, I believe is how you pronounce it, in December of last year. Dern sits just outside the top 10 at number 11. Who you got here?
I got Dern.
Same.
She's got the jiu-jitsu.
Same. This is going to put her into the top 10.
That girl she beat, I believe it's Jandaroba or something like that. She's got sick jiu-jitsu too. So the fact that Mackenzie beat her,
exactly,
that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, same mindset. And I said, I think Dern has that mindset. She's in here. She needs to get this win to break the top 10.
And she's been getting cage time, man. She's been, early on, she just looked a little hesitant in her striking and stuff. But, I mean, she's been getting cage time. And
exactly,
that's all it is getting that cage time, being in there, feeling it. The more relaxed you become.
Exactly.
So she's going to be dangerous, dude. She's got the skill set to make a run in that division.
For sure.
Who's the champ of her weight?
It's what you call it, isn't it?
It's either Amanda or...
Isn't it? Let me look. Now you got me thinking. UFC. It's Shevchenko. I'm 100% sure it is. Well, it could be, what's her name here soon? God, I'm blanking hard right now. Who's Shevchenko about to fight? What's her name?
Is she fighting Claudia Gadelha?
Yeah, something like. I think she is. That fight comes up here soon. I think that's here very soon. But here, 1 second. Let me. Women's strawweight. Oh, we're tripping, bro. I forgot. It's Weili Zhang. I forgot.
Oh shit, that division's stacked.
Yeah, Shevchenko's in flyweight. Because that Rose versus Weili Zhang fight is going to be the fight of the year. I don't care what anybody says. That is going to be the fight of the year, hands down. Weili Zhang versus Rose. That stuff is because Rose isn't going to get knocked out like Joanna did, like by Weili, because Weili put her down in China. Joanna brought her title to China, and then Weili Zhang just and she is just. Whew. But Rose is just, whew. There's no words to describe.
I like Rose.
Man, they're both so good.
Yeah, it's a fun one. There's a lot of title fights on that card, isn't there?
Yeah, that is the first. That's in Jacksonville. That's the first.
That's Usman.
Yeah, that is 261. Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. Co-main event is Weili Zhang versus Rose. And then for the flyweight title, Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, she's actually fighting Jessica Andrade. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then Uriah Hall fights Chris Weidman, and then Anthony Smith fights Jimmy Crute. Start out the night. And I love Anthony Smith. That boy can fight.
Yeah, he can fight. I like him too, dude.
I didn't realize
how caller,
Yeah, I didn't realize how stacked this card was. Holy crap. Dana White was not kidding. When he said Jacksonville, Florida, we're bringing you a banger to bring it back, he was not lying. Now, I'm not going to lie.
That's good.
I would have rather seen what you call it? They were trying to get what's his name? Leon Edwards versus Wonder Boy. I would have rather seen that, but Leon Edwards is fighting Nate Diaz now.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah, which is going to be an excellent fight, and I'm excited for Nate Diaz that he's going to shut his mouth. I hope he stops tweeting. I think
Nate's going to serve him up. I think Nate's going to whoop his ass.
I think he is too, but
I really do.
Leon Edwards is a bad mother.
No, he is.
He would be on 9 wins straight right now because Belal Muhammad was not going to win that fight. And it's unfortunate that Leon put his finger through his eye socket and cut his eye. Because he didn't even cut his eye, he eyelid right here with his nail. So, yeah, I think we lost you for a second. Wait till he pops back.
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go.
Here.
But, yeah, I think Nate would win that fight too, but I think it'll be a fight. I don't think it's going to be a one-sided. I think it's going to be a brawl. It's going to be like an old school UFC brawl, to be honest with you. I think it'd be worse than Masvidal versus Nate, gruesome-wise. I think 100%.
Damn, some people forget how bad Masvidal whooped his ass.
And it's not even that he did whoop his ass, but it was in the same sense that, Nate Diaz's face is like leather. Like, he has all those scar tissues. Yeah. And he got cut open on that same cut that he always gets cut open so easy. But it did take massive force for Masvidal to do that, and he put a network on him. I wish you could have seen a knockout or like his cheek falling off his face or something for them to stop a fight. But it was a good fight. I'm excited to see what Jorge can do with the full camp against Usman, though. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super pumped to see that.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I am too, for sure. Usman looks fucking good.
He's dominant. He really is. And talk about GOAT talk. If he keeps this up, I got to start eating some of my words. And he's up there with Khabib and GSP because what he's doing at this point is just like, people can't overlook this. You know what I mean? He is a beast. He is a monster. 18-1.
Yeah, and he's just, and he's beating dudes up. Sure, he held Masvidal on a fence for 25 minutes, but other than that, he put Gilbert Burns away. He put Covington away in the final round. He
broke Covington's jaw.
Yeah, he looks good, dude, and you can tell in his striking, just his tactics and how calm he is, that he's under Trevor Whitman. Yeah. He's setting traps. He's like putting people where he wants to, landing shots, and that just makes his wrestling 10 times easier.
And like you said, Trevor Whitman's doing a great job with him. Absolute fantastic job. But just
for sure.
And I'm excited, man. That night, it does suck. I do think Weili Zhang, or at least Shevchenko. First of all, Shevchenko doesn't deserve to be the Coco main. That's just disrespectful to Shevchenko. I understand it's a 3 championship card fight, but you got to throw someone else in there. She's a main event fighter. That's a little bit of slap in the face to her. Weili Zhang, I understand that this would be her second title defense. But Usman, that's no doubt has to be the main event. But it kind of sucks that Shevchenko's the Coco main. Like, I know she has. She's not upset about it, but deep down inside, she's like, "What is this?" Like,
she deserves her own card. They've been doing that though. They've been putting people who you could have 3 separate main events on one card.
And I like it, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to lie to you. I like it, but at the same time, they better be paying these people if they were going to be a main card themselves, because that's a title fight. You know what I mean? And these events are long.
The shitty part of it is it's somehow, I bet, the organization is making more money and the fighters are making less due to this. If I had to guess, if I was a guessing man in this situation with like, yes, I'm in this business, but I also know how this business operates. It's not the nicest game in the world, you know. It's not the nicest. Just it's as the fighter, you don't get taken care of, and we all know it. But I'm sure that however this happens, this is helping the company the most.
Yep. And
know?
I think it is just a money thing, but at the same time, this event does have a cause
Sold out,
for
dude.
it's sold out. First time audience is back. Shit, they could have had 5 title fights. Like, you know, Dana would have tried anything, you know what I mean? But I think
Florida's going crazy right now.
Yeah. I just hope everyone stays safe and this fight still happens. But yeah, so you took Mackenzie Dern for that last fight. Let's go ahead and let's go on to these to the Sam Albee versus Julian Marquez fight at middleweight. Sam Albee, aka Smile In, man, he's 33-14-1 with 1 no contest. Like, talk about a record. He's not had much luck. He's on a losing streak out of his last 5 fights. He has 1 draw, and he dropped 4 straight with 2 being decision. You know, Marquez, a.k.a. the Cuban Missile Crisis. I love this guy, man. He's the guy, I don't know if you saw him ask Miley Cyrus to be his Valentine after his fight.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, dude, he's something good for the sport. He's hilarious. He's got a good sense of humor. But, you know, he's coming off that submission victory against Maki Pitolo, and that was in February, like I mentioned. But, yeah, this, to me, is a very interesting fight. Personally, I'm going to go with Cuban Missile Crisis for TKO. I don't know what you're thinking, but I think there's a lot of upside for Julian Marquez here.
Yeah, I think this is it's a winnable fight for him. This should keep him rolling. I got Julian Marquez for sure.
Yeah, same. And dude,
Sam Alvey's just tough. He's just tough and can hang in there.
It's probably gonna be gruesome. I'll probably make it home just in time to see that fight. But if Cuban Missile Crisis can get that strike game going or get the submission, I'd rather see him just submit Sam Alvey, because it's really hard for Sam Alvey to be dropped. Even though, I mean, he hasn't been on the best run recently at all. We can be honest about that.
No, yeah, for sure.
But either he bounces back right here, or he takes another L and potentially risk, you know, losing a contract. You know what I mean? Not being re-signed.
They're cutting everybody.
Dos Santos just got cut. Overeem got cut. That blew my mind when Overeem got cut.
Yeah, they're making cuts, dude. And I mean, even on the lower, like you lose 2 in a row right now, and you're entry level, you're out.
Yeah,
for sure, you're out. It's like an old school wrestling tournament, man. You lose 2, you're done.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But Dana he's blown up the roster. I mean, not just him, Sean and him. They just,
dude, it's so competitive. It's such a new game. It's truly mixed martial arts now. Like,
yeah, really
it's true. Like, I just watched Jack Shore. Like, Jack Shore's my boy. Shout out to him. He got the job done tonight. Beat Hunter Azure. I know he wanted to finish. He's a killer finisher, but he took a lot from tonight. You know, Hunter Azure is tough. He stayed in there, but this is my point. Jack Shore is from Wales. Wales, they don't know how to wrestle. Hunter Azure wrestled for, I believe, Northern Colorado. He's a great wrestler. But in the game of mixed martial arts, you saw Jack Shore. I think Jack was like 6 for 13 of takedowns, and Hunter Azure was 0 for 6. So it's such a game of mixed martial arts now, of using your boxing to set up wrestling, and everyone can wrestle. The guys from Wales can wrestle now. Used to, the guys from Europe had 0 wrestling or grappling. Now, I mean, Paddy Pimblett, he's I think he's from Liverpool. He's got some jiu-jitsu, you know, like these guys, everyone has it all now. If you don't have it all, you're going to get hurt.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like, it goes back to me saying, like, is it better to come in as a striker learning wrestling, or being a wrestler coming in learning striking? And I think that we've mostly found that a lot of those wrestlers can adapt easier to striking than a striker can to wrestling, and that's so interesting. But like you said, it's mixed martial arts now. You got to know everything. You can't just come in in as one of the best boxers. You know what I mean? You got to come in as one of the best jiu-jitsu
You just
artists.
got to come in with an open mind.
Exactly.
I see too many guys who, like, I've seen strikers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys who they neglect the other stuff because they think they're too good in their area. So I've seen boxers who won't show up to wrestling, and a lot of it's because wrestling is the hardest practice of the week. Jiu-jitsu guys who won't strike as much, and so it's just having an open mind and not like kind of putting the ego aside and realizing like there are things to learn. You're a white belt in other areas. You know, just one black belt. I don't even care about belts personally. That's why I wanted to fight that Brant Moore dude, because I think he's a fake black belt, and I wanted to expose that of him. But, you know, your belts don't mean shit, but you can't just be highly credentialed in one thing. You're going to get exposed because this game has evolved.
No, for sure. I mean, you couldn't have said that any better. Like you said, like belts, that's just the determination from your coach that you're at the point to where he believes that you deserve this. I mean, that's between you and him. Now, when you go out and say you get 10 wins in a row all by knockout and you're a black belt, then hell yeah. Like, that's a badass black belt right there. But in your sense, how you're saying there's some people out there that are just like, they earned it on some BS type bullshit. And I don't know the situation, but yeah, that sucks. And it is fun probably for you guys to expose those guys and say, bring your skill.
What happens is at these smaller gyms and like less, not even just fighting gyms, like Kyle is a good example. You're not like the Kyle here in San Jose where Kyle is. Well, these guys have so many affiliate gyms. So then they're hole in the wall gyms. And how these people keep their doors open is they promote people. They got a belting system. They promote people. So you get these hole in the wall gym black belts, but you take them to a competition, they're not shit.
Yeah,
you know, that goes for blue, purple, and brown in the jiu-jitsu community. And, you know, I see fighters who train at these small gyms and they're black belts. And then I watch them fight and I watch, okay, this guy's in side control, this guy has his knees up, and he goes to step over the knees instead of cutting his knee through the belt line. That's not black belt shit. So when I see that, and I saw that in the dude I was going to fight, I was like, man, this guy's no black belt. You know, my jiu-jitsu's sick. I know what's up. But I'm a purple belt at best. I went to Blue Belt Worlds, got second. I'm a purple belt at best. And so when I see these guys who claim that they're black belts in jiu-jitsu, I think it takes away from the origin of the sport, and what it is like, you know, base this on your skill set, not that you've paid your dues and you've been at this gym for a while. And, you know, sometimes I'll see fighters who they train with only hobbyists, only people who get off their job and then they come to train. And then they beat up all these hobbyists. So they're a black belt in this gym. I don't know. I'm on a rant, but I
totally understand it. I totally understand. Oh, by the way, Mackenzie Dern just beat Amanda Nunes' wife. She did win. She beat Nina.
I figured she would.
And that sucks because Nina, I like Nina. You know, she's great. But it sucks because at this point, she's a great fighter, but I see her as like Amanda
Nunes' wife.
And training partner, because she's always with Nunes, and Nunes gets more airtime and stuff. And that sucks. I wanted to see her like come out here and get this win because, you know, she had the baby. I think she carried the baby for them.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so I wanted to see her come out and get the win, but I kind of figured that it's hard to get back in the ring. And it wasn't nothing crazy. I'm watching right now. She just got her in a triangle. Just locked her up. Yeah.
I figured Mackenzie Dern's jiu-jitsu is of that level, you know? She's good. She can submit black belts, yeah.
Yeah. And not saying that what you call it, she's not a bad fighter, Nina, but yeah, Dern's is nasty. All right, so we picked the Missile Cuban Christ for well, technically we didn't pick the first fight, technically, but I was gonna pick Daniel Rodriguez. I don't know about you. Then we picked Mackenzie Dern. We were correct about that. Now we who did you have? You
Marquez.
You picked Marquez. I did too. And now we're on to Arnold Allen versus Sadiq Yusuf at featherweight.
Oh, I'm stoked for this fight, actually.
All right,
dude.
break it down for me then. Tell me why.
I think Arnold Allen's he's obviously the longer guy, but he uses his range so well. He sticks, dude. His jab is a piston, and
Really?
he keeps
Okay.
people at bay with that. But Sadiq Yusuf, I mean, the guy just gets inside and he just throws bombs.
Yeah, he really does.
And you saw him mix it up, you
Yep.
know. I believe he beat Andre Fili, and when I was out in Sacramento, I trained with Andre Fili. I felt Andre Fili. He's a stud, and so Sadiq Yusuf doing that to him is respectable. So I think this is a cool chess game to see. Can Arnold keep him at bay, and can Sadiq mix up a takedown? But I think I got Arnold Allen here, dude.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's a good fight. Both have one loss. Arnold Allen 16-1. Yusuf is 11-1. I think I had to go with Yusuf on this one. I think I don't know. I have a feeling with him. Every time I see him, just on social media or whatever, he's just got that mindset. I feel like. I mean, a lot of you guys do.
Is Arnold Allen coming off a win over Cub Swanson?
I believe
someone.
That was 2 fights ago. I could be wrong. His last fight in 2020 was against Nick Lentz, and then he fought
Nick Lentz.
Yeah, he didn't fight Cub Swanson.
Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking.
He might have. No, he hasn't. He hasn't really fought that much lately. And that's why I think it's going to be a little tougher for him. You know, I mean, the last 2 years he's had 3 fights. So we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. You know, ring rest is a thing for some guys, and sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? But we got a good fight here, I think. So you're taking
I'm gonna take Arnold Allen.
Arnold, yeah, I'm gonna take Yusuf there. I think he has some really good potential behind him.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, with featherweights, you're always gonna have something up in the air. You know what I mean? It's that type of division where, I mean, anything can happen in any division, heavyweight for sure and stuff like that. But for some reason, featherweight, it's just magical stuff happens sometimes. I don't know what it is.
It's a fun division for sure.
Yeah, and now the fight, I think a lot of people are waiting for, and we're actually excited. This is one of those fights when someone fills in and you're like, man, that's awesome. By the way, the birds in the background with you, it just sounds so perfect where you are. It's not bothering. It just sounds so perfect. Like, you got the palm trees in the back, you got the sun shining, you got the birds singing to you. Like,
nice, man.
Living the life out there. That's funny, man.
Nice.
But yeah, we got Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland stepping in after fighting Brunson not too long ago. This fight is at the middleweight division. Vettori, a.k.a. the Italian Dream, he's 16-4-1. He's been on a great run with 4 straight victories. 3 out of 4 of those wins have been by unanimous decision. And yeah, he's been on a run. He's going against Kevin Holland, a.k.a. the Trailblazer, 21-6. He's coming off that tough unanimous decision losses we mentioned to Derek Brunson in March. But yeah, that snapped his 5-fight winning streak from 2020. Moving forward, I think he still has some power. He still has some grace. I think he got over his head like we were talking earlier in the show. I still think he's one of the top fighters in this fight, and I think he's going to be a problem for Marvin. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Kevin get it done. I think he's going to. I think he's going to take this one pretty serious. I don't think he's going to not so much more serious. I think his relaxation is what makes him him.
Yeah.
But I think he knows what he has to do. He knows that he pissed off Dana White. Dana White didn't like what he saw, so he knows what he's got to do, and I'm confident he's going to do that. I don't really like Marvin Vettori. I think he's a bit of a douchebag.
That's what I was just about to say. What he did with Jack Hermanson in the hotel when that fight got called off the first time, like total bitch
it's just
move.
Too much.
Like, why would you try to start a fight when all this stuff is first happening and like they were trying to still figure it out, and you're in the lobby yelling at raging at hotel employees, regular people. Like, bro, chill out. And I think he's just smug, to be honest with you. I don't like to talk about fighters sometimes, but he's just one of those guys that just needs to really, at least when Kevin Holland's yapping and stuff, it's funny. It might be a little bit over the top, but it's nothing hurtful. It's funny. Him asking advice for Khabib and DC and all them. That's a gag. But Marvin Vettori, he just comes out and just rants and spits all over the place, and it's very unappealing when it comes to a fighter. And honestly, I hope Kevin Holland puts him out, and I think he will.
I do too.
And I think it's gonna be. I think Kevin Holland's gonna come out and he's gonna be funny about it, and he's literally not gonna say anything. Why? I bet you right now, Kyle. I bet you this. I bet you Kevin Holland wins tonight, and he goes and does his interview with Joe Rogan, and he literally stays silent the whole time to walk away. I bet you. I just
his point.
Yeah, I just see he's that type of guy. Just stand there, shake his head, and then walk away. And then let's see what Dana White says about that. That's just who he is.
You didn't want me to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't talk.
But yeah,
I like him, dude. He's good for the sport.
Yeah, 100%. All those guys, like anybody with a positive attitude like that, that's not just bitching and complaining when something happens or when look, he lost. He was still happy. He was dapping up Brunson, thanking him for what he did. He loves the fight. You know what I mean? It's just a different style mentality of how he looks at it. You know what I mean? It's fun for him. Like, this is his life. He loves it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see it.
But yeah, so one more time for the people. Your fight is April 30th on UFC Fight Pass with LFA, and the opponent's name is again?
Terrence McKinney.
Terrence McKinney.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be watching, of course. Wishing you the best of luck for that. Your camp's still going. You're about to be hitting the hard parks. How's your weight looking?
Weight's great, dude. I'm waking up like 173.
Oh, nice. Oh, you're solid.
Eating. Oh, dude, well, the thing was I took the 7 months to put on the size working with Chris Camacho.
Yep.
But I didn't want to recreate the problem I had at 45, dying to make weight. So, dude, I'm eating right. I'm timing meals, portioned out, and I'm well fed. 173, drinking 1.5 gallons a day. So once we cut sodium, water load, and do everything right, I might not even have to cut weight, dude. I might be able to diet down.
That's awesome. Yeah. It seems every time we would talk, you were kind of a little bit nervous about weight, and just not nervous, but just it was on your mind. But I'm glad to see you relaxed about it. You're chilled out about it. It seemed like the plan is working. Everything's in line for this. You got a great team around you, great support, great nutritionist. But yeah, I think it's all lining up for you, bud.
It's coming. It's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
I'm excited. Yeah, man. And get that dub and get that call. Don't want to put anything too forward.
Check it out, dude. Tune in.
Yeah, of course. I'll be watching.
Tune in.
But yeah, I'll make a post. Make sure to remind everyone to watch. Fight Pass is so inexpensive. Can't hurt to get it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. Main event, Kyle Driscoll, April 30th.
Let's go.
Big fight coming up. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. Thanks for breaking down these fights with me. Sorry to take you away from a couple of the fights.
You're good, dog. Let's talk after the fight.
Yeah, for sure. I'll hit you up. Shout out Manscaped also, but I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna close out the show, bro.
Go shave your bush. Go shave your bush. Later.
All right, catch you later, man. You mind switching it to the main for me? It's not working. Yeah, there. All right. Kyle Driscoll, always great having him on. We're going to go ahead and cut it out here, guys. Go watch these fights. We still got, let's see what other, we got Sam Albee, Arnold Allen, and then the Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland fight to close it out. But yeah, I'm going to go watch these fights. But yeah, catch us next Saturday for some more pound for pound. Next Saturday, we got Whitaker versus Gastelum, which is going to be exciting. Exciting. UFC is back on a roll. A little quick break they had, but rock and roll now. But all right, thanks guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Jalen Walker, and this is Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. See you guys.